Hello everyone, this is not the way I normally start a video. However, this Aston Martin DB12 video that was made, I've made this over the course of a few days here and there with this press fleet vehicle behind me. And there's one thing I wanted to clarify before we start the actual video that was shot, and that is this vehicle is not all-wheel drive. You'll hear in the video me talking about how this is the first all-wheel drive DB car from Aston Martin. That is not true. I fell victim of the information I found on Google from different publications indicating that this was Aston Martin's first all-wheel drive DB car. After speaking directly with Aston Martin and the service folks here at FC Kerbeck Aston Martin, this vehicle is rear-wheel drive. Now, they've adjusted the rear differential, put in a whole new setup in the back of the DB12 compared to the DB11 that makes the car feel and behave like it's all-wheel drive. But this car is rear-wheel drive, so with that clarification, let's start the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm back here at FC Kerbeck Aston Martin to check out the all-new for 2024 Aston Martin DB12. This one is in hyper red with a black two-tone roof. We got twin-turbo V8 power and the first Aston Martin DB car with all-wheel drive. So we're going to check this thing out, see what it's bringing to this super Grand Tourer or GT segment here in the market for the 24 model year. So let's dig in. Front end of this DB12, the hyper red, the functional heat extractors up on the hood or bonnet if you're in the UK. LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals, LED fog lamps, huge black functional grille right underneath that Aston Martin badge. We have carbon fiber front splitter action going on here, just looks gorgeous. We're going to zoom on and give you a close-up here on the headlight housing. Very sleek the way it goes right in and around the hood. Aston Martin right on it. Here is our carbon fiber down below with our functional. I'm speechless looking at this car. Here we go. Looking absolutely stunning now. Wheel and tire setup on the DB12. We have 21-inch forged aluminum alloy wheels, Aston Martin on the badge on the center cap. Huge ventilated, cross-drilled rotors, big brakes up front in black with the Aston Martin script on it. Now, these 21-inch wheels up front, right, are Michelin Pilot Sport 4S summer tires. That's the same all the way around the vehicle, but tire size is the difference. So up front, we're looking at 275 on the width of 35 series sidewall 21s. Out back, we're going to go with 325 steamrollers with a 30 series sidewall 21s. As we move on out, I just think the styling from Aston Martin on this car is right on the money. The red with the black roof looking gorgeous. As we move on in closer, here's the carbon fiber side vent. Up here on the front fender says Aston Martin, looking beautiful. We have carbon fiber side view mirror caps, LED turn signals, 360-degree view cameras, shaved color matched door handles, the fuel filler cap on the right side up top. We have that fastback design into the gloss black roof, looking beautiful, but no sunroof. Back end of our DB12, again, we have that the way that roof slopes right into the trunk or the boot if you're in the UK. LED lighting all the way around out back, all carbon fiber in and around the license plate area and rear diffuser area with a functional dual exhaust. But with this twin turbo V8, we got to hear how this baby sounds. We We are under the hood of this DB12, and what are we looking at? We're looking at a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 engine mated to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. 671 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque, MPGs 15 in the city, 22 on the highway. Minimum octane rating on the engine's 93, so you'll need to use super unleaded fuel. But as we zoom on in, we got the dual intakes, the strut tower bracing to stiffen up this front end, and of course your plaque that says DB12, hand built in Great Britain. Just a beautiful looking engine bay. There's our functional heat extractors up on the hood, but absolutely stunning engine bay. Starting with the driver's door panel, as you can see, we have the swan doors. The doors go up at an angle when you open them, so when you open it up, you won't hit the curb if you're parked out on the street. Not sure if a DB12 is going to be parked out on the street, but up top, leather all the way across. Now, carbon fiber all throughout the insert, all the way down underneath this Oxford tan armrest. The brogue stitching, all hand done, nice and soft, beautiful looking. Here's our mirror controls, window controls. This is where you're going to pop your trunk or boot here in this DB12. And then we barely have any kind of door pocket at all. But all your power functions for the seat, they're going to be on the center console right next to your right leg. So there you have that. So now you got your power seats with lumbar adjustment right there, 3 memory seat settings. So you're all set as far as that goes. Foot box action, nice large dead pedal brake and accelerator with aluminum finish, looking good. Underneath our protector here is the carpeted floor mat, but it really doesn't do much for me. Would have been nice to say DB12. As we pull out, here is your aluminum door sill plate to welcome you to the vehicle. Up close it says Aston Martin DB12, hand built in Great Britain. There you go, looking gorgeous in that. Little placard is stainless steel. Now we got the black leather interior, looking gorgeous. All one piece, all the way down. The brogue stitching, all hand done, of course. The headrest with the Aston Martin logo embossed into the headrest on both seats. Looks absolutely gorgeous. And the same over there for the passenger, looking beautiful. Passenger door panel, the same as the driver with the styling, with the materials, with the carbon fiber. We got the upgraded, as you can see, Bowers & Wilkins sound system in here. And the power seat for the front passenger is, if I can turn this camera around, it's also on the center console. There it is, for the front passenger with your lumbar adjustment and with your memory seat settings. So they got you covered for both. Up top, leather and stitching, carbon fiber, chrome going right into the heat and air vent, and then the button right over here, that's going to open your glove box, and it's nice and big. Infotainment system, this is Aston Martin's all new infotainment system being first introduced here into the 24 DB12. First of all, we got 2 heat and air vents right here, and up here on the top of the dash, we have an additional Bowers & Wilkins speaker. They're all over the place in this vehicle, but this is the deal here. Now there's no official size on this. This is a press fleet vehicle. That's why I didn't go over any pricing. There is no pricing on this vehicle, but the Aston Martin DB12 will start at about $245,000 base price, 0 options, but you're never going to see one spec that way. You can expect to pay somewhere over $275,000. I've seen them spec'd up to $350,000. I've even seen them spec'd up to over $400,000. All depends on how much luxury and personalization you want to put into this car, because you can put in a zillion different kinds of personalization and luxury appointments into this Aston Martin. But this is what they're using right here as their press vehicle. It's an all-new system, and where we're going to start is with our drive modes, because the drive modes, when you change them, will show up on your infotainment screen, not necessarily on the digital dash. So it doesn't tell you drive mode. You got to know, you got to turn your start-stop button to the left or to the right to get the drive modes to change. It would have been nice for somebody to tell me that. But here we go. If we turn it to the left, we're going to go individual, and then we're going to go wet. And then if we turn it back to the right, we're back through individual. Then we have GT, that would be your normal mode. Then we have Sport, and then we have Sport Plus. And then that's it. We're going to leave it in Sport Plus for our drive today, but if you go individual, you can go in there and edit it and all that other jazz. You can go to your telemetry. There we go. And now you get your auxiliary gauges coming up, so you can see exactly what's going on with the car when you're going down the road. You got your assistance, where you can go ahead and set up your adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, blind spot assistance, traffic sign assistance. We have a speed limit limiter in here, lane keep assist. So all of your safety tech is in this Aston Martin. So blind spot monitoring through the side view mirrors, lane keep assist, highway following assist, automatic emergency braking, all that safety equipment is in here. So that's nice. Then we can go through our lights. There we go. You can go through your ambient lighting and go ahead and change your ambient lighting for the color and the brightness inside the vehicle. So they got you covered there. Your courtesy lights, your interior shutoff, and all that good stuff. We can go to our vehicle settings. You got to push this fairly firm to get it to change. You just can't kind of dink it. You got to give it a good push down with your finger. Through your acoustic locks are automatic door lock, automatic mirror folding, and all that jazz. Of course, as you can see, we got a touch screen. Here's your parking, how you want to have your parking sounds when you're backing up show up, where your warnings come up and all that good stuff. So that's where they have all that stuff in here. But it's a touch screen. It's a new system. This is based off of the latest Mercedes-Benz infotainment system, as Aston Martin is contracting with them for that. Now you can Bluetooth your phone for your music, download your music library, Sirius XM, all that jazz. And then we have, again, our phone. Now we have our home button, where we can go ahead and connect up your devices, do your music, volume, cool the cabin, warm the cabin, and all that good stuff. Warm your feet, warm your hands. They got all that action going on in there. So it's really nice and easy to use. The one thing I can't show you is the maps, because right now the maps are not available in this press fleet vehicle, so we can't show you that. But I have seen pictures of them, and they do look fairly clear. Now, if we go to reverse, there's our backup camera with a 360-degree view. Nice and clear with trajectory, takes up the whole screen. So a very nice job doing that here in this Aston Martin. But there you have that. And it looks like it's probably about 8-9 inch system, maybe 10. Somewhere in there. Now they do have your defrost, your climate control, four-way hazards, AC, air recirc, sync the temp together. So if we want to go to our climate zones, we can desynchronize them, we can synchronize them. They're right down here. You can push the button, bring them up, so you can see how we have everything set up with our dual climate. So they got you covered there. Now, as we come down further, we have a lot of gloss black plastic. And as you can see with this press fleet demo car, it has gotten fingerprints and it has gotten dust all over the place. That's why there's tape over these to protect the buttons. This is our engine auto stop start. You push it in, you push it out, and then you turn the dial for your drive modes. Temperature, fan, temperature, volume. There is the gear shift right here, this little thing, to go through this ZF8 speed with manual mode. Then over here, you got 3-stage heated seats, 3-stage ventilated seats for the driver and the front passenger on that side. And then you got your traction control off, your exhaust louder or quieter, 3 stages too, firm up or soften your suspension, engine auto stop start on off. Then on the other side, you can turn off the system up top. You can take your lane keep assist off, parking sensors off, parking cameras. So that's where they have that action. And then in here, We got 2 cup holders, the Aston Martin key fob, which is all inside protective plastic. We have lock, unlock, pop the boot or the trunk. On the side, it says Aston Martin. Nice weight, too. And then, here is our center console with that brogue stitching with the leather, and we can open this up. We have a spot to lay our phone, and as you can see right in here, a 12-volt and 2 USB-Cs. Aston Martin steering wheel, nice leather wrap wheel, nice 10 and 2 notches. Leather here on the horn button with the Aston Martin wing is looking good. Flat bottom wheel to make it easy to get in and out of the vehicle. Now, we do have gloss black on our switch gear up top. We have our safety suit controls down here, adaptive cruise, and your speed limiter. So the car won't let you go over the speed limit if you have that activated. Keep you in good graces with the police. Up top here, this is where you can change up your digital dash and then your telephone voice commands and volume. Metal paddles attached to the wheel to go up and down this 8-speed automatic. Then we have our windshield wiper controls and directionals on the left. Down here, we have our electric emergency brake. We can then set our headlight controls right here, fog lamps right up here, brighten and dim the dash. And then with this switch, I'm going to have a hard time showing it to you. There it is. Underneath your directional, this is your heated steering wheel switch right here where my finger is. You twist it and to turn them on, pull it back to you to turn them off. But this also doubles as your electric tilting and telescoping wheel. So that is very much right out of a Mercedes-Benz, that switch gear right there. And then here's our fully digital dash. Looks really, really nice. Now, we can change things up. You can go in here, and then you can move down and figure out what do I want to see on here. And then I have extra pages I can go through depending on the category I choose. So very easy to do, but you do have to hover your finger over this button right here and move it up and down. You push it in to select what you want, but then you kind of just use it as a scroll button like that. And then when you want what you want, you push it in and then it brings up whatever that is. And I'm going to go to Trip Assist. We'll put that on. So that's kind of how that works. But it's a very clear digital dash. Overhead console. Here's the action up here. You got more speakers for the Sparrows and Wilkins, but you do have LED lighting on the interior, and it'll come on without you doing anything. So that's easy enough, no problem. You got your SOS button in case there's an emergency on the road. We have our standard frameless rear view mirror with your garage door programmables underneath. Then we have our sun visor with vanity right there. And then, does it slide? No, it doesn't do anything. It stays right there where it is. Then you got your leather headliner with that brogue styling all the way around. Looks absolutely beautiful all the way around. No sunroof, though. We do have a back seat, but nobody can fit in it. But in case you want to put some gear in it, you can just move the seat back from your front seat forward, and the seat will move forward for you and allow you to access these back seats. But again, in typical DB fashion, people aren't going to fit back here. Just extra gear because they have a very small trunk or boot. But you do have that huge Bowers and Wilkins speaker here in the back, and you have the nice leather. So it's really nicely done back here. But nobody's really going to fit back here. Then when you're done, you do that and the seat goes back to where it was. Now, getting in the trunk of the DB12, I just popped it using the switch on the driver door panel, and then you just come to the back and lift up. It's a small trunk, as you can see, or boot. Only 9.25 cubic feet of cargo space in the back of DB12. No spare tire. We do have some cubbies and some nice carpeting on here. And here's the gear that comes with the vehicle here that they have stuffed in here, but not a big area. And that's why I think you see those back seats where you can use that for extra boot space. All right, so that's a wrap on the exterior and interior review. And one of the best things about having a press fleet vehicle from Aston Martin is we can take it out for a spin. So let's rock, baby. All right, we are in this 2024 Aston Martin DB12. Hyper red is the color. beautiful shifts out of this ZF 8-speed automatic. We're looking at a twin-turbo V8, 671 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque, all-wheel drive for the first time in a DB car. And the handling is just spot on. The acceleration is amazing. Absolutely amazing. As we whip down the road. And you know, the other great thing about this car, it's a GT car, so it rides really smooth once you get it up to speed on the highway. Seating, very nice. Of course, we got the fancy leather interior in here, but we got the new infotainment system, so now we're getting wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, heated ventilated seats, heated steering wheel. We got the wireless charging, power seats. I mean, there's every luxury thing you can think of in this Aston Martin. The fancy Bowers & Wilkins infotainment system, so the tunes will sound great. But who needs the tunes when you got this engine?
Oh, yeah.
You got this beautiful leather headliner with the design in it, which looks great. So Aston really put a lot of design effort into this vehicle. And oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
We don't have to turn around for a little while.
And then we got the pops coming out of the exhaust. Now we can also manually change our suspension settings, our exhaust, whether we want to make it loud, whether we want to make it quiet, not wake up the neighbors at 6 o'clock in the morning. But just really well done. And of course, it all comes at a price too, because this car is not inexpensive. We're talking $350,000 and up, depending on what options you want in this DB12. But what an absolute car right here. What a car. We're gonna hit this.
Let's do it. Yeah, feel this baby grip. Yeah.
And that just holds on the line, doesn't move.
Not a lot of roll.
Not a lot of roll at all. It's planted to the ground and just absolutely fantastic. Wow. Wow. The one thing I do have to say about this DB12 is, just like any other Aston Martin I've ever driven, it gets hot in this passenger cockpit, and it's a mid-50s day here, which is unusual for February, but I have the air conditioning on at 65 because it's really warm in here. So when you get one of these, don't be surprised if it feels warm inside the car, because the way the windshield is angled and whatnot, it just brings the heat in a little bit more than maybe you would expect it to. And the black interior is obviously gonna hold heat as well. But other than that, this thing is just out of control. Out of control. And Aston Martin has been making Grand Tours and sports cars. This is their niche. They just tried their hand at the SUVs, but this is their niche, and they do it so well compared to the competition. And there's really nothing you can say about it. Now, some of these Aston Martin purists that I've seen online have criticized this car because it's a DB12, but it doesn't have a 12-cylinder engine. Well, you know what? Get used to it. The 12-cylinder Aston Martin engine has been sunset, and they're going with this twin-turbo V8 engine instead. And that's just the way things are in the car industry nowadays. Just be glad, Aston Martin purists, that they didn't make this an electric car. Right? We still got the engine, we still got the sound, we still got the performance. Thank you, Aston Martin, for not giving us an electric DB car. That would have been really upsetting to a guy like me. But other than that, this thing is fantastic. Now we're going to swing out, head back down the highway, and we'll give it some more action here. And the power is just right to the ground right away. Now this, were rear-wheel drive only, you would spin the wheels with this kind of horsepower and you would lose traction and you'd kick the rear end out and go flying into a ditch or into a hedge. The all-wheel drive gets all this power to the ground right away, all grip, no slip, fantastic. But let me know what you guys think. If you're fortunate enough to be able to afford one of these beautiful cars, is the DB12 the Grand Tourer you would go with out there in the market, or would you go somewhere else with your hard-earned exotic Grand Tourer money? Let me know that in the comments. But I want to thank FC Kerbeck Aston Martin here in Palmyra, New Jersey, for allowing the channel access to this 2024 Aston Martin DB12 in Hyper Red for review today. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing and turn on that notification bell so you'll never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.